Are you flipping the rage bait on me?
What is that existence? Responding to chuds. I love doing it.
Let's go with the dog against the dogs. Alabama.
When I had a choice to pick a co-host.
I know.
Oh, you're betting on the game. Why would you be doing that? Because it's fun. Welcome back to Geek'd Up Bets. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson here to deliver lots of major talking points across the NFL. We're going to also dig a little bit, Sean, into the MLB, NBA as well, the MVP race. I really think Wemby's going to win it. We'll get to that later on in the show. Sean, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Oh, Jesus. God, relax.
I had, when's the last time you got a shot in the arm?
Oh, man. Well, I haven't been to the doctor in, since college.
Yeah.
How long since we finished? And I don't know if I would count the physical for football that we would have because that wasn't a real doctor's appointment. I haven't been to the doctor since high school.
Okay, gotcha.
So what is that? 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
Pushing 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is frightening.
I got a needle in my arm today for some blood work because I'm so fat and obese and I ate so much fried food and drank so much beer that they have to run a blood test on me for limitations. Smart listeners will know what I'm referring to.
Gout.
They are okay. That's for the dumb listeners too. Yeah, I got some big toe pain. But one thing I was happy with, I was never squeamish with needles, and I think people that are squeamish with needles are kind of like soft.
Thanks.
Like don't look. Are you?
Yes, incredibly.
What? Just don't look at it. Honestly, I remember being like uncomfortable by it. I passed out one time when I was getting like an ingrown toenail surgery removal because I was watching it and I was looking at it and I started like and I went down. And I woke back up and it was done. But today it was needle in and I always get complimented on my veins. Like, oh, your veins are so easy to find every time. I say, yeah, got it. Superhero.
Is that all the cholesterol that's pushed them open?
No, I think the cholesterol and fat on my body would make it harder to find, but at least the veins in my arms are findable enough for someone to give me a shot.
I'm proud of you for having that attribute.
It was good. I was happy with it. I was in and out with the shot. Are you really scared of needles?
Extremely.
What?
Like petrified. You see me when I see bugs. You think that I'm not going to be scared of needles,
dude?
Too?
You are like, I did not know that until right now.
I'm incredibly frightened of needles. I don't like shots. I can deal with, but I don't like them. I've given blood once. I've had my blood drawn one time, and that was not. I didn't pass out or anything, but that was. I am quite squeamish. Extremely.
You don't like when they?
I can't even watch it in a movie. I can't even watch someone get blood drawn in a movie.
So that Saw scene where it's a big vat of needles that have been used, and someone's got to dive into it.
I've seen one scary movie in my life, and it was Scream 4. I don't know if I would count that as a scary movie. What was your point with the needles?
My point was that
you're getting complimented on your big veins.
Awesome genetics and veins.
Well, clearly you've got awesome genetics with the gout that you.
Yeah, I can find the silver lining. I cannot believe you're scared of needles. That is crazy.
Why is it?
You don't like getting poked? You played football.
It's not getting poked. It's the feel of being inserted into to get stabbed. To get stabbed. That's what I'm.
It's not even that feeling. It hurts less than a bee sting. It feels like a mosquito.
I don't know if I've ever been. It does not feel like a mosquito,
dude. It's like a pinch.
You don't even notice a mosquito.
You don't even notice the needle. I literally was like,
I probably need to go to the doctor. By the way, that's what this is reminding of me. When was the last time you had a physical?
I'm not going back there for a physical until I get right.
Where did you go to the doctor? By the way, I don't even know
the Lab Corp right next to the CVS. There's like downstairs.
Oh.
So the CVS, there's like a 4 business like block in this one building, and went to Lab Corp, and this nurse was like, do you have an appointment? And I'm like, yeah, 2:15. Do we have the information? I'm like, yeah, I faxed it myself. Thanks. I'm faxing shit myself now. Online doctor service.
How did you fax? What fax machine did you get a hold of?
I did it all through Dropbox Fax. No free plugs, but Dropbox Fax.
They have your social. There
was no social, but I'm like, okay. She's like, are you fasting? I'm like, I wasn't told to fast, but I guess, yeah, I haven't eaten anything because I'm starving the gout. And then she's like, all right, come with me. And I go back there. She doesn't even tell me to sit down. I just sit down. Ties the thing around my arm, gives me a shot. I look away, and I'm out. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds.
I'm telling you, man. No, it's super easy.
I don't want to operate with that. I do need to get a physical. I have not got one. That is probably one of my worst adult attributes. Is that I have not been to the doctor.
Mr. DeLeone, do you have problems with strong winds?
Screw you. All right, we're not here to talk about avoiding the doctor and needles.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to talk NFL. I want to start, Sean, by discussing a topic that we pushed off last show. The NFL draft is right around the corner. We're about to hit April. It's about to move quickly. Shockingly, the NFL draft is earlier this year. It's on the 23rd, so it's not the last week for the first time in a while. There's a very quick run-up that's going to happen this week going forward. There is now a lot of urgency for a number of teams, and we want to decipher the teams that must draft well, the teams that have to come away from the 2026 NFL draft fixing key issues in order to set themselves up to succeed. If you had to pinpoint two teams, can you deliver one to me that is on your radar?
Yeah, right now it's the Cincinnati Bengals are a team that must draft well. Every time we talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, we talk about how potent the offense is, how we wish Joe Burrow was healthy more, but how good the receiving core is in the offense at times. The defense, when we talk about them, it's always talking about atrocities and a unit of 11 players that can't get right and gives up a ton of points. So when does the rubber meet the road of the offense getting tired of being sold by the defense? It is this season. It is now. It is Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl once. We know the stat about quarterbacks that go to the Super Bowl, lose their first one, and don't go back. I think it's a majority of the guys. So you have to draft well. You have to draft defense well, offensive line well. Any part of this team that you need, it has to be a hit. 3 starters minimum. You cannot miss in this draft, or else it's a wasted Bengals season in an AFC North that's wide the hell open. Baltimore, reset year. They were bad last year. They got a new coach. They got less offensive weapons. Pittsburgh, no more Mike Tomlin. Mike McCarthy. Tell me if that's not a downgrade. And then the Browns are the Browns. So you could win the AFC North maybe with a decent draft. You win it definitely with a good draft. You have to draft well if you're Cincinnati.
Bengals have 30-1 odds to win the Super Bowl this year. They're not terribly low. They're middle of the pack, which I guess is expected. They're plus 260 to win the AFC North, which seems plausible. Those are solid odds. And it makes a lot of sense because of the uncertainty that is unfolding in the AFC North with the Browns. There's no expectation that they're going to be good. The Steelers don't even have a quarterback at the current moment. That's a picture for like who they're going to move forward with.
Will Howard.
The way that you said that is the amount of confidence that I think that anybody should have in Will Howard.
A little meek.
Yeah,
meeker than I thought it was going to
be. And as much as the Ravens have their talent on their roster with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, new coach. We don't know how things are going to work with Minter. You now have this opportunity to catch a lot of these teams off guard. But to your point, they got to come away from this draft set up to succeed. But most importantly, they got to fix their damn defense. This is a team that has a very clear directive. They have to come away with their early draft picks with key defensive starters. There's none of this crap where they pull out a Shamar Stewart again, having drafted a prospect that's still developing and not fully ready to contribute. I'm sure one of them is going to hold out. I'm sure one of these players is not going to be ready to go, and that's going to become a nice big distraction during training camp. But that 10th overall pick and every other pick after that needs to be a defensive starter. Day 3 picks even need to be guys that are key contributors. You have to come away with really good value. The Bengals have to be at the top of this discussion. Otherwise, they're cooked. Zach Taylor's getting fired. One would wonder if Joe Burrow would become impatient with the direction of the franchise.
I would.
A lot of things start to collapse.
I can't wait for the Andre Yoshivash holdout this year for him wanting more money.
Come on, man.
What? Come on, that could happen. Who do you think's keeping T and Jamar so open? It's me, Andre Yoshivash.
You're an idiot. First team that I want to bring up, Sean, Carolina Panthers. This is urgency, not in a negative way. And what I mean by this is a franchise that has built brick by brick back up to a competitive point. They look like they're the best team in the NFC South going into, don't roll your eyes at me. It's not Atlanta. It's not Atlanta.
All right. Well,
if they capably utilize the momentum from last year, plus the additions that they brought in through free agency with Devin Lloyd and Jalen Phillips headlining that group, if they capitalize on that, they go from being the plucky, interesting young team to a mainstay in the playoffs. I think that the urgency doesn't go on the shoulders of Dave Canales. I think it goes on Bryce Young. I think that this is now a prove-it moment that you need to show everybody, I've got the receivers, I've got the offensive line, got the run game, and I've got the defense to back me up. I'm ready to go. Take the ball and run with it. They sit the 19th overall pick in a perplexing situation. Whenever I've done mock drafts, Ryan and I, my co-host for Best Pod Available, Ryan Roberts, every time we come up on the Panthers, the same conversation is had. I don't really know what position is the biggest of need for them. It's because they've done such a good job with roster building.
Yep.
So I think that if you come away with that first-round pick, just their first-round pick, with an impactful player and just going best available, that sets them up to accomplish what they're searching for. Maybe that is Kenyon Sadiq and they benefit. Maybe they get to go with defensive line depth and they get to go Caden McDonald. Maybe they luck out from a team panicking over injuries to Jordan Tyson and they can throw him into the mix. There's just a lot of ways that they can go here without it pressing the rookie that's stepping onto the field to have to fix any of their major woes. I'm excited for the Panthers, and I don't look at this as a must draft well as a problem. I see it as a good problem to have because you finally have made it.
I would just draft O-line, whatever the best lineman is available right there. Draft offensive
But is it just off of the premise? Actually, if you suggest drafting a lineman, Panthers fans get pissed. They love their offensive line.
Fine. Love your offensive line. But if one of them goes down, I'd rather have a guy waiting and ready. That's what I'd rather have. I mean, tight end room is deep. Jatavion Sanders, freak. Tommy Tremble has made big plays, but you're
naming a bunch of dudes.
He's a tight end too.
All, rotational guys.
What about Mitchell Evans, who was supposed to be the next Gronk?
No one ever said that. Shut up. Shut up. You got two Notre Dame tight ends in there, by the way.
You also, who's the other? Tremble?
Tremble's a Notre Dame tight end.
Yeah, tight end 2 and 3.
Wait,
tight end 2 and 3 factory. You also forgot to mention Felipe Franks coming over when you were bringing up Jalen Phillips, Devin Lloyd. Why did you omit him?
Maybe I'll play a little quarterback this year.
That'd be nice.
Who knows?
I always wanted to see the triple option quarterback or the wishbone quarterback in Atlanta with Felipe, Desmond Ridder, and Marcus Mariota. God, they never did it.
Great.
They never did it.
Great.
But for Carolina as a whole, jokes aside, you want to see these teams not be a flash in the pan because we saw potential. We saw a team that was supposed to be, put it nicely, dog water, exceed expectations, dive down and find their potential. Play hard, play really well on defense, do good stuff. So if you have that in Carolina, you would hope to replicate that. Replicate it through the draft. Become a team that makes other teams in your division want to be better and need to be better. That's what I would hope for Carolina.
Just throw in there the Panthers in terms of their Super Bowl odds. They're 100-1. They're much further down the list. They're in the bottom half of the NFL, but they are plus 330 to win the NFC South. Who is your second team?
On a second note, following on a don't be a flash in the pan narrative, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They need to draft very well this year. And I'm not going to be mean, even though I've called them shit and turbo shit, and I've said Trevor Lawrence is bad and he's not tall. He's just got a long head and neck, and he makes a ton of bad plays, and he gave away the playoff game on the first
play.
Put
the prize in the bag. Put the prize in the bag. Get to the point.
That's fine. Okay, noted. What are the Jacksonville Jaguars going to do? Why do you need to have an elite draft this year? It's because you don't have Devin Lloyd anymore, because you have question marks all over the place. Brian Thomas Jr., question mark. He was not going to get traded. We knew that. But name being floated for a guy that burst on the scene rookie year, had a bad second year. Don't love that. Travis Hunter, what's the deal there? Draft depth well. You lost pieces on defense. Draft well. If Jacksonville wants to be taken seriously, which is all I've ever yelled at them and their dumb fans about, is that they started thinking that they were serious. They were a new money team that just started winning last year. So that's where I took umbrage with it. If you don't want to do that and you want to set up a culture in Jacksonville where you're going to the playoffs year after year with that cornball coach, he got him to the playoffs. I'm not going to ignore that.
I don't know why you have such
disdain
for this.
They don't exude football. That's why. They don't feel football to me. That's why. But If you want to be a team that wants to go and claim the AFC South, which Houston is just basically giving it to you every year because they love falling apart for 6 weeks at a time. Indy's a disaster. Investing, I don't even want to say the number in Daniel Jones, a possible $82 million into that sack of hay, and then the idiot Titans. So it's there for you. It's similar to the Panthers, and I actually think they were better than the Panthers last year. So don't drop the ball. Go and draft somebody good. Go and draft a tight end that isn't Brenton Strange. Brenton
Strange had a pretty good year last year.
What about tight end 2, Quentin Morris or Hunter Long or Patrick Herbert? That could be rounded out to me. All of this could be rounded. I'm sure they're going to go linebacker to try to replace
Devin Lloyd.
Yeah.
They have a interesting class of picks. They don't have a first-round pick because of the Travis Hunter trade. They've got pick 56. They have 3 third-rounders, a 4th, 2 fifth-rounders, a 6th, and 3 seventh-rounders. So they have a lot of draft capital to replace certain holes in their roster. But I don't really know in a class like this that lacks depth, that doesn't have a lot of quality players that they can take on day 3, what they're going to be able to come out of this with. Those 7th-rounders are equatable to PFAs in most draft classes. So they're not going to be able to extract a lot.
Is that weak this year?
It's a really weak draft class. Dude, I have watched some tape at the back end of some of these position groups. Some of these dudes are rough. Some of these running backs that I watch, like there are a good number of players that I wouldn't draft in many other classes.
Do you think guys that we played with would have gotten drafted in this class? Like hypothetically?
Kyle Murphy, AP probably would not have.
Yeah.
But Kyle Murphy probably would have gotten drafted because there's not a very good offensive lineman.
You think Isaiah would have gone in like the 4th, or was he a 5th no matter what?
Nah, receiver class is pretty good.
Okay.
Besides the point, where they sit on day 2, having 4 day 2 selections, you could come away from this with a new starting linebacker. The linebacker class is really good on day 2. You could come away with a new starting running back to replace Etienne. I would imagine Jadarian Price would be super intriguing for them. I feel like Emmett Johnson would be also super intriguing for them because he fits the Bucky Irving archetype that they got so much out of when Liam Cohen got out of when he was the Bucs offensive coordinator. They need to round out the unit. And it goes to the point that you mentioned here that this is the moment to kind of capture where you were from last season. Everybody's creeping up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee could be unexpectedly good.
Scrappy at best.
Texans did everything possible to rectify their issues and fix their problems. Colts are the Colts. The Colts could end up being as good as they were last year, or they could be a gigantic, disastrous mess. Who knows? But when you're at plus 195 to win the AFC South, you have to, at second best odds in the division, you have to come away from this draft class with multiple key role players.
Man, they were bragging about bringing in Chris Rodriguez Jr. to be their RB2. They were fired.
I know it's a little bit too much. They need to draft a new running back. Bashal Tutin is a solid, interesting player, but he's not.
I watched C-Rod. Okay, I watched him. He looks like Brian Robinson Jr., who another idiot team picked up for no reason this year.
Your team?
Oh, I was.
Wait, by the way, so are we going to go full? I don't know how we haven't discussed this. Is he going to go full Brian Robinson on the back of the jersey? Or is he going to go BR Robinson?
I'm worried about the Bijan possible ego play of going BI. Robinson. And then
I think that Bijan should go Bijan Robinson on the back. Bijan should take full. Are you allowed to go first name? Could he go Bijan on the back? Just Bijan?
We had a player go Nas Jones on the full back, I think.
Wait, what?
You remember we had a ton of Jones. We had a Naeem and a Nas Jones. There might have been another like N.A. Jones on the team.
We had multiple N.A. Joneses. Did Nas actually go full Nas?
I think Nas went full Nas. I'm not joking, man. I'm not kidding with you. I think he might have.
I don't know if he did.
I honestly, if I was Bijan and I had all this talent and I was about to get all this money, I would change my name to just Bijan. I'd be a one name celebrity, and I'd put that on the back of my jersey.
But do they allow that? Does the NFL? I don't know. I'm asking you. You don't know. Would they allow? Do you think? I would hope that they would. If I'm Bijan,
Chad Johnson got Ocho Cinco on the back of his jersey.
I don't know if
he legally changed his name and said, "Hey, NFL, you have to put this on there."
But he legally changed his name.
Yeah, if Bijan legally changed his name, which is something I would do because I'm a big dummy, I would just be out there
Bijan.
Yeah, Bijan. Just Bijan.
And then Brian Robinson could change his name to Brian Bijan. And then
the best pot available, Brian Robinson.
My last team that I want to bring up here, Minnesota Vikings are a very obvious team.
Oh, God.
Right now, they're 45-1 to win the Super Bowl, plus 550 to win the NFC North. So they are not thought of very highly, which is kind of strange considering the fact that they have a really good defense. They are moving on from a couple of key veterans. Jonathan Allen, gone. Harrison Smith, gone. There are holes that they need to plug on defense. They spent a lot of money with their offensive line last year. Aaron Jones is ancient. You have a really good wide receiver tandem with Addison and Justin Jefferson. And you went and you brought in Kyler Murray. This is a make or break year. You can't come away from this season if you're Kevin O'Connell, just barely missing the playoffs because you're doing the hokey pokey at quarterback and you're just bouncing around between JJ and Kyler. Both are taking turns being doofuses. Neither one takes the step. Justin Jefferson's getting impatient, more and more impatient because his role has diminished because nobody can throw him the damn football. This draft class needs to be one where those final little holes are plugged because there is such a gigantic gaping issue that is going to cause headaches. They need to be as buttoned up across the board as possible. Why are you giggling? Because I used the word gaping. Is that why you're giggling?
He went on a tear there. I'm sorry. You're doing good. Pardon me.
You have all of these small little adjustable issues that can be rectified with the right. I can't use gaping and then
rectify. You said button up. Dude, like, I'm not kidding. You are literally, I'm trying really hard over here. You got to know that. But you are smattering the board with words that would go in that lane.
They're also potentially trying to trade Jonathan Grenard. I think that their first pick does need to be a key starting defender. I know it's a dumb cliche, but Dylan Thieneman being your box safety, the next white dude that you plug into the defense.
Yeah.
God, I think that Minnesota fans would be a little bit too excited about that. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren could be worth considering as another strong safety from Toledo. Caden McDonald is another guy that I think makes a lot of sense. Christian Miller from Georgia. The idea of maybe going at corner if they want to grab, if Jermon McCoy is still on the board. They're in a really good position at pick 18, but I almost wonder if you're trying to really, truly hit your stride this season, and Jeremiah Love is on the board at pick 10, do you pick up the phone and do you try and coerce the Bengals into the idea of getting some extra picks so that they can continue to build out their defense to go up and get Jeremiah Love? Because that would take them over the top.
Okay, it would. But do the Vikings just want to be like the Bengals? Is that what they want to be? Because that's what that would be.
Roster is much better.
Where it would have short quarterback, some injury issues, top 3 wide receiver.
Are you calling Joe Burrow short?
Yeah, I am.
He's like 6'4".
He does not look big on the field.
What are you
That means short
about?
to me. He does not look big.
Oh, I'm sorry. We all can't be. He's 6'4".
You should apologize.
Have you seen him in person?
Short.
Have you seen him in person? If you stood next to him, he'd be eye to eye with you because you're not 6'6".
I'm trying to remember if I saw him I don't think I saw him at the Super Bowl. I think
He's
he was like one of the guys I
moose.
didn't see.
He is a moose. He is gigantic. Joe Burrow is. I can't. You basically just implied that Joe Burrow is the same size as Kyler Murray.
He does not. Jesus. He does not appear larger.
You heightest asshole. This is what you do. This is what you do.
I understand. I'm very strict with those rules. I guess if he is 6'4", he's 6'4". Good for him. Whatever then. Injury prone, often great, often quarterback. I think you just go. I hate that I'm such a stupid mark, but I love your white safety for white safety pick for the Vikings. That seems to be what got them a lot of wins, was having a safety back there that could decisively turn a ball game. And Harrison Smith, Hall of Famer probably, maybe, is going to leave a large hole in that defense. But also, if you pitch me Jeremiah Love to any team, you should know this by now. I'm going to agree. I'm going to naturally say, yeah,
you could talk like
that works for me.
10 teams into doing it. Heck, when I did,
any team would be better with that dude.
Seriously, there was a we did on Best Spot Available. We did a Bengals mock draft with the Bengals expert A to Z Sports, and he took Jeremiah Love 10th overall, which conceptually that sounds insane, but all the top defensive players were off the board. All of them were gone off this mock draft that we did with the simulator that we did. So there are teams that you might not even think would consider doing it. I got asked today on Cleveland radio if they should take Jeremiah Love. I got at Cleveland.
They should.
But, okay, they have Quinshawn and
he was good.
Dylan Sampson, man. Dylan Sampson should keep them from...
I did not like... What do you mean? Are you being legit about Dylan Sampson
No.
here? Okay.
My point is that you spent 2 draft picks and you have a viable rotation. You've got bigger fish to fry. Your whole offensive line is a disaster. I would be upset as a Notre Dame fan to see Jeremiah Love waste away in Cleveland because they didn't fix their offensive line. They just said, Jeremiah... fix all of our problems. That I don't want that. But I think that Minnesota last year, what they did during free agency, dropping so much dough on rounding out their offensive line, that is the right situation. This is the right team. Good offensive play caller, capitalizing on an elite talent, taking pressure off of the shoulders of JJ or Kyler, assuming it's probably going to be Kyler. I think that Aaron Jones is starting to show that he's really slowing down. It's something that we didn't really talk about, that last year was one of their issues, that he was starting to taper off.
He didn't have the burst.
548 yards last season and 2 touchdowns. He's not, and he played practically a full season. That is something that I think more people need to be discussing, is if they don't make that move to go get Jeremiah Love, taking a Mike Washington from Arkansas, someone like that to throw into the run game.
Okay. I'm assuming you have a lot of draft spots lined up for the next couple of weeks ahead of the draft. Phone interviews about it. Can you tag me in on one of them? And every answer I give is draft Jeremiah Love. I feel like that's what I would do. I honestly, and I think I would get poo-pooed by the station and the GM, but he's such a good player that I would say Jeremiah Love. Take Jeremiah Love. That's the only answer you need from me today. If I was in Washington doing a spot on 106.7, Jeremiah Love. No other questions, please. That's the only insight I have for you.
Oh, it's a very easy answer. Apparently, this is an easy answer for the Browns, Sean. Deshaun Watson appears to be trending towards being the Browns quarterback this upcoming year. I love this bit. The owners' meetings happen, and suddenly we're talking about Deshaun Watson again. Let's go. Jimmy Haslam, the owner for the Browns, stated, Deshaun has a great chance, fresh start, offensive-minded coach who has in his past been able to work with all kinds of different quarterbacks. How about perverts and make them successful? So Deshaun has a great chance to do that now. That is a good question. Has he worked with any perverted quarterbacks in the past? Regardless, I really think that this actually is a viable path forward for the Browns. Your team's not going to be great. Your offensive line's under construction. You're hoping that you are in the sweepstakes in 2027 to draft one of the premier quarterbacks next year. Why not just throw out this idiot for one more time? You spent all this money. You ruined the direction of your franchise. Let this dummy go out there and play like ass. Get your money's worth. Make him play all 17 games. Make him play all 3 and start all 3, finish all 3 preseason games.
That'd be nice.
He hasn't played. He has been mostly unavailable. Get as much money out of him as you can. I think that it shouldn't really be that crazy of a take to say, if he's ready to go and he looks serviceable, then he should start. How different is this from what the Jets and the Cardinals are doing this upcoming year? Just going with a bridge quarterback and mailing it in.
Here's the thing.
And what the Raiders did this past year.
Geno Smith and Jacoby Brissett played leagues better quarterbacking than Deshaun Watson.
That is a good point.
In Cleveland. And here's my problem.
You're trying to out-tank them.
Cleveland's a good football town. It's a great football town. One of the best in America. One of the best that we have.
They deserve to watch Deshaun Watson play like dog shit so they can yell at him. You can't yell at Deshaun Watson from the bench.
They show up on Sundays. I bet they do. They show up on Sundays. They fill that stadium. It's all they got in Cleveland. All right. I know the Cavs are good. All right. I'm sorry, Cleveland. It's all they got, man. I don't want to punish the Browns any more than they already punished themselves. It's really picking on a kid that can't do any better. That's what it feels like. And when we do something like this.
But you're misunderstanding, though. I'm not pitching because I want the Browns to suffer. They have already suffered.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how dumb and annoying it would be I would be pissed as a Browns fan that this cancer, this sore,
be more than pissed,
that has completely if they had kept Baker, imagine what this team would be. Deshaun Watson's presence has derailed all the progress and closed a window that you had to at least just have been a consistent playoff team, just a consistent, steady playoff team. You got there with Joe effing Flacco if you had just been patient. If his dumbass is sitting on the bench and you're trotting out Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, you are not getting the satisfaction of being able to boo his ass. Boo him. I know I'm going a little bit LaGreca.
Yeah,
here,
go LaGreca. Go full LaGreca.
I think that they deserve this. This is a little schadenfreude with this, where you're kind of hoping to watch him fail and to stink. I want him, as bad as he plays, to play all 17 games. Go out there and be dog shit, Deshaun. These fans deserve it.
If you see him at the waterfront, boo him. Boo him. Yeah, I understand that. But his quarterback play last time he suited up for the Browns, before he neglectfully did not respond to rehab requests and was messing around on the bad foot. And it was so bad. I don't know if I could watch it. And I love watching every single team. I love red zone, one screen.
You couldn't
other team, other screen.
Watch him be awful.
Dude, it was really, really
it was
really bad.
It was quite hideous.
Like what happened? Genuinely, did he get bonked on the head and forget everything about quarterback play every single time? I wasn't sitting here oh, Deshaun got a little better this week. Maybe there's something. It was worse and worse week by week. I think the NFL would have to intervene on this owner saying some shit like this. That is negligence to the community and the fans. I would step in if I was Goodell. I'd say you cannot start him. If Shedeur gets hurt and Gabriel gets hurt and you got to throw him in, I would understand. You cannot start him. It is for the betterment of the league. Oh my God, I can't watch another game of him playing quarterback. I really can't. I could watch any quarterback. I can't watch him.
The Browns have some of the worst odds to win their own division in the NFL. 15-1. Here's a really funny one, by the way. I'm looking at this. The Cardinals' odds to win their division is so out of reach. It's 75-1. Most of the NFL has stronger odds to win a Super Bowl compared to the Cardinals winning their division. That's not the point that I'm trying to bring up here.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns, are not even going to be touching the playoffs this upcoming year. To reach the playoffs, it's plus 450.
Oh,
I think that
generous
it kind of is. I think that to have this desire to get something out of that awful, messy, terrible quarterback should be the one redeeming aspect of the season. You talked about how he's played 19 games. He's 9-10, 61.2% completion percentage. He's thrown for 3,300 yards, 19 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Shedeur last year, 56%, 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. As much as I would like for Shedeur to get the chance to prove himself, I feel as though the page is being turned towards looking ahead towards 2027. Unless Shedeur goes out there and completely blows everybody away. He preseason looks unbelievable. He does everything right. But it sounds like the way that this has been framed. Andrew Berry's also talked about Deshaun Watson. It seems like there's a lot of inclinations that they're leaning towards trying to get something out of him.
That's really annoying. If I was the Browns fans, I would unite together and I would only get loud for defensive plays. I would completely flip it around. I would be dead quiet if Deshaun Watson was on the field. Would not get up if you threw a touchdown, would not get up if you threw a first down. Myles Garrett gets a sack, place erupts. Like that's the only way I think I could really show my displeasure instead of just sitting there and yelling and cursing. That's still noise. TV's still picking it up. There's a lot of fans out here in Cleveland today. You're not picking up all the mean stuff being said. I'd be dead silent if he was on the field. Wouldn't give him that's so annoying. Andrew Berry doesn't have any better prospect to pitch to play quarterback in Cleveland. How about Kirk? Bring Kirk.
Why do you always want to sign up Kirk for these terrible situations?
I want him to continue to pay his dues.
Why? Okay, but you don't want Deshaun to pay his? What are we doing?
No, I don't.
Speaking of paying some dues, Sean, it's been a very highly talked about bit today that Jason Kelce is going to be a part of ESPN's coverage of the Masters. He is going to be a reporter during the Masters par 3 contest. It is small potatoes. It's not like he is going to be on the actual hole by hole coverage, which that would be absolutely aggravating, infuriating if they did that, but they're not. I tweeted about this. It has gone viral.
Yeah.
I feel like that this is the biggest signal that ESPN does not know what to do with Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce was an infectious personality and one of the greatest centers of all time. He was highly sought after as a media personality. He signed a 3-year, $24 million contract, $8 million per year. I'm going to double check, but I believe that makes him one of the highest paid media personalities. They launched a late night show that was ass. Nobody watched it. He has randomly done coverage for other sporting events, and he has mostly participated in Monday Night Football's coverage, which he's pretty valuable there.
He's fine. Analyst on Monday Night Football, whatever. It's fine.
My big woe with this, and I get that Kelce has value and they're trying to get it out of him. It feels like ESPN, when they offered him this contract, did not want to get outbid and just threw a giant total at him, did not have a plan, and now are realizing they don't know what to do with him. This is not an effective use of his skill set. The biggest talking point that I've brought up with this is that you have a unique personality that is personable, that is one of the greatest at his position in NFL history. Get him in some sort of deep analytical content where he is working with on the field, on the board, breaking down field, talking with offensive linemen. We are in an era, and a lot of people on this post push back to try to kind of say to me, well, not everybody wants that really granular content like you do. Type in the words film breakdown on YouTube. There are videos with hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands. If you had Jason Kelce doing offensive line breakdowns with said players, with boosted production value, you actually have the rights to use the film, unlike most of these people that get their shit taken down half the time. You have the chance to do something really fun and to allow people to connect with a position that is actually quite interesting, but doesn't get any coverage. I feel like you have a chance to do something super, super unique. But these stupid, absolutely stupid, lazy, massive corporations don't know how to handle and to work with personalities like Kelce. They think that they just got to make him the next Pat McAfee. That's redundant. Why would you need 2 Pat McAfees?
It's going to, because they will get 4.1 million views on Jason Kelce tries a pimento sandwich at Augusta for the first time.
I want to see.
Let's go down to Jason.
I want to see him do a board drill with Scotty Scheffler.
That'd be awesome. That'd be great. The suits don't like that. They like manufacturing funny, which is the least funny thing possible. And honestly, I'm not even totally blaming ESPN for this.
I blame ESPN more than I blame Kelce.
I think a lot of other major networks would have done the same thing if given the opportunity, where they say, hey, you're funny and charismatic. Here's the low-hanging fruit tree, which we reference often. Go pick a fruit and we'll run with it. That's fine. You don't need to do anything extra. We don't need to put any brain power into this. Jason, let's go down to you. Oh man, these guys, they hit it straight, don't they? Oh my goodness.
Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, could you do that?
I'd be missing the green. I bet you there's a quote of him saying that.
It'll be, let's go down to Jason. And he's like fake praying. And he's like, oh, sorry, I'm down here at Amen Corner. And I just wanted to keep it, say a prayer for my golf game. And then we'll go back to this shot. Everyone's doing great out here. It's going to be corny, bad shtick the entire time.
You know what?
Watching the Masters on mute. That's what I'll do. I'll watch it on mute this year.
Well, which is not a part of the main coverage. Again, to be very clear, this is just the par 3 contest next week. It's completely separate event. It's not the same thing as the main Masters, which I'm sure if they get one viral clip out of this, which is to your point, that's what the whole point of this is. They know nobody's going to watch it.
Yeah.
They're going to pull one clip and then he's going to go super viral and be like, look how funny and cool Jason Kelce is at the golf event. This is super cool. And they hope that some kid will watch the Masters, which they won't. But I feel like that I just don't understand why they think that this is some sort of unique perspective to provide to the coverage. Like what do they get out of this outside of the social clips? How can they justify? It's exactly like their social channels turning into what they are.
Yeah, they got Omarified, where he came in and ruined it.
Clip farming.
Yeah, clip farming. It's nasty work because at times ESPN can be great. Their Monday Night Football broadcast is near perfect NFL broadcast. Like with Aikman, tremendous. Buck, awesome. The way it looks, the games they choose, like they're good. They're very, very good at that. And you see glimpses and you get that. And then they go to the millennial slop factory and say, oh, let's pump it out. Let's pump it out. We can get a clip. We get it all done. Get it all done. Go and be yourself and tear it up at Augusta because you're a wacky guy and you'll take your shirt off. Well, is this Bert Kreischer's fault? It might be.
So wait,
it's Bert Kreischer's fault, man.
People keep commenting on my post. He is now turned into ESPN's Bert Kreischer, which pisses me off. And I think that Jason should have enough self-awareness to realize that he doesn't want to go down the Bert Kreischer path.
Why not?
Everybody hates Bert Kreischer now.
He's got a lot of money. He keeps on getting shows and deals, whatever. But it pisses me off because Jason Kelce was a hero, a personal hero. Like watching his film, listening to what he said about the sport. This is my point. All of it, like hero. And now it's like, why are you doing this to this guy? I've almost come to the point where I could stomach the podcast and how edited it is and the clips that come out and end on the laugh and give us your best story or you say, what was your welcome to the game moment or something like that or welcome to the industry moment. They were talking to Logic or Lil Dicky. It was Lil Dicky. I'm like, dude, this podcast is nothing. But I've come to grips that it's just a clip farm. But why does everything have to be clip farm with this guy? I'd want him to do middays on WIP and talk to Eagles fans all day and 4-hour midday slot. Hey, I'm Jason Kelce. I'm quick. I'm personable. I have a good voice. I can sing. I do all of this. He won't do it because there's not enough money in radio, which is a bummer. But if I was putting him into a role post football, go do radio. Go do sports talk radio. You're a hero. You keep the city alive, fan connection, because the deepest fans are still at sports talk. It's dwindled because there's so many other avenues that are niche. But like if he was doing that, they'd still do numbers. And you'd want to tune into the Jason Kelce show from 10 to 2. You'd want to do that if you were in Philly.
As logical as that is, I think that the $8 million that they're paying him shows that there's more to get out of it. And he's getting paid so much money, he's probably just going to nod and say yes to whatever. I'm sure he's excited about this. Sure. And to be very clear, to me, this is no dig at Kelce. I think that this is just a complete and utter misuse of value that he can be providing. There's just no creativity. And you bring up Kreischer. Kreischer's a really good example of decision makers at these big companies just constantly keep recycling and seeing, like, I saw somebody talk about Kreischer. Well, our analytics reports, the quant team and the idiots that run our spreadsheets say that Bert Kreischer's name is really popular and it keeps coming up, but they don't realize that the only reason why Bert Kreischer keeps being given these opportunities is because other people are giving him opportunities. So it just keeps recycling and recycling. Nobody is bothering to ask and actually check in on if people want this or not. Nobody's bothering to see, I'm really excited that Bert Kreischer is sitting in a McCovey Cove drinking a beer and I got to look at his teeth because you put a camera that has poor connection underneath his chin. There's just all of this weird, lazy decision-making because they're so driven by numbers that are pooped out by a dumb spreadsheet that some goober that got an MBA from Penn or Dartmouth told you. Those people have no touch on what is actually good content and who are the actual good people that you should be investing in. You have the chance to turn Jason Kelce into such a unique star and you're wasting him. I know that John Gruden's kind of small potatoes to what Jason Kelce's name is. Jason Kelce has a lot more weight because of his brother and Taylor Swift, but you have the chance to make him and build him up from being a Gruden-esque figure and then to make him even bigger than that.
I would do football stuff there with him. If you want to do golf stuff, Kelce plays 9 at the Masters.
That's fine.
That down. Golf is as popular on YouTube as it's ever been, and it's not slowing down. Shoot 9 holes at Augusta with Travis Kelce. They get up there early, ESPN privileges. He does it. You make it fast, you make it quick, and then you have a nice 18-minute video with Kelce. Anything else I would do with him is asking football question to the weirdo golfers. I'd get into the neurotic. I'd see what position they think they would play. I would have Travis Kelce like analyze their lineman stances, which they've never been in their life. They've never touched a hand into the dirt except to pick up a ball and move it back into the fairway with their cheating asses. Every golfer ever. I do 1,000 things other than let's throw it down to Kelce for some yucks during the Masters. And we didn't want to slow roll him like with a smaller tournament and see how it went.
Well, they sent him to the TGL.
Oh, I didn't even. Oh, dude, am I sick of the damn TGL?
That was part. Well, this is all kind of ties itself back into itself. Is that
what a waste of time that is? And I was so pissed. I've been waiting to talk about this. College basketball season, February. There'd be TGL on. It would bleed into college basketball tip-offs, NBA tip-offs. And I'm sitting here like, why do I care about indoor golf? There's a huge, there's ranked matchups on right now, and you got me watching Tom Kim try to chip in indoors. I couldn't stand the TGL. Burn it down. Who's going to these things? Who's sitting in the stands? You know what it looks like to me? The TGL looks like those.
It's all banana ball, man.
It looks like those robot
Savannah
battles,
bananas.
where
it's
like,
all Savannah bananas.
You pack in like half the stands, and you never move the camera off them to make it look like it's packed. But it's just a bunch of dorks, love the dorks, building robots and having them fight with like 100 people in the crowd. But because of camera angles and framing, and they make it look like it's packed. That TGL at SoFi, what is there, 1,000 people there? Maybe
45.
End it. I'm sick of it.
This is all the Savannah bananas, man.
It is.
It's all, everything is just, it all comes back to the Savannah bananas.
Play the sport, man. It's the Masters. It's Augusta. I think it's pompous. I'm kind of over the glazing at times, but God, let's have some respect for it.
Let's talk a little NBA here, Sean. Last night, Victor Wembanyama had an insane performance against the Bulls, and it made me ask the question, is he going to win MVP this year? It feels like he's got a lot of momentum in his favor. He's got the second best odds right now at plus 350, SGA at minus 450. Wemby has accomplished a couple of tremendous things. He is the only other player to have, before the age of 23, produced multiple 40 point and 15 rebound games. He has 4 such games. The only other player that accomplished that was Shaq. He now, in the last 13 games, is averaging 28.2 points per game, 12.2 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, 3.5 blocks per game, and 1.3 steals per game. And the Spurs, since February, are 25-2. Are you invested in Wemby like I am? Because I think that this guy has been a clear elevator. I understand that SGA is a good player. I watched him do some crazy shit last night when he was keeping the Thunder alive against the Pistons. But I think that Wemby has taken a team that without him would not be in this stratosphere of being capable of winning the finals.
Yeah, Wemby's great. I would still give the MVP this year to LeBron. 27. He's averaging 20 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, steal per game. I would still give it to him doing this in his 40s. That's just me. But if we are going to the point of,
You can't be serious.
What do you mean? That's my MVP. He's my MVP.
I'm reminded why we don't talk NBA often on this show.
All I want to do is talk about LeBron. That's all I want to do. He had a triple double last night. That's what he did. Triple freaking double. Who's that?
No one was talking about that because his stats.
Oh, is that against the Wizards? Damn.
Yeah,
21, 10, and 12.
Get back to it.
Come on, Wizards.
Get back to the actual. It's not even in the top of the odds. Top of the odds, by the way.
Yeah, top of the odds are BS, man.
SGA minus 450, Wemby plus 350.
Free throw merchant.
Doncic plus 3,000.
Fat.
Jokic, okay, plus 10,000.
Fat 2.
Jaylen Brown plus 50.
Bald. Yeah. Okay. Look.
Yes. Who do you actually?
I'd want it to go to Wemby, seriously, because I get a lot of my NBA takes from NBA Twitter, and they're irrational, and they let me know who's an ethical hooper and who's not, which is my favorite term maybe ever when it comes to basketball. SGA, not an ethical hooper, just getting to the free throw line. And you know what? You can tell me about the mid-range stuff that he does and the contested shots from three. That's great. OKC's a great team. I don't want to run down OKC. It's OKC. Like nobody hates OKC. I shouldn't. But they're
kind of slowly approaching that point where they're like, all right, this team's so good that it's a little annoying.
It's enough of this. But Wemby, I love Wemby because he's playing better defense than SGA is. I mean, honest to God, rim, it's not even a protector. It's like a rim assaulter. Like if a ball is getting near that hoop, he's sending it. He's performing blocks that look like miracles that could have never been dreamt of before. The way that he plays is inspirational. And this is what it pisses me off, really, is that it's like, oh, well, Wemby's going to have like 3 or 4 MVPs minimum throughout his career. Start it now. Give it to him now. Like, what are the basketball voters waiting on? Just because you think he's going to get more, like when SGA has a down season or he's hurt or Luka's hurt for a season. Oh, well, Wemby cleared it. Are we waiting for Wemby to have average 35, average a triple-double? Give me a break. Honestly, hop off SGA. Honestly, it's Wemby's time. Wemby's had a more impressive year. The Spurs are not a great team. They were a fine team with Victor Wembanyama leading the entire way. It's like LeBron, what he was doing with those early Cavs teams. Give it to him now. I hated that. I hate that about basketball MVP. For a decade, LeBron could have won it every year. They didn't give it to him. Whatever, fine. But I hate this, he'll be due. Like, he's going to get his eventually. Why does he have to earn it? He's the best player in basketball right now.
So that's the one thing that I've always been bothered by whenever we have these conversations about MVPs. It doesn't happen in the NFL. Look how quickly we were willing to hand the award to Patrick Mahomes. We were willing.
But Josh Allen was due, for his. Like, give me a break.
Well, but my point is that we do it less.
Yeah.
We do it a lot less in the NFL. A lot of times when there's a young star that comes up, we're just going to start talking about that young star. In the NBA, there's this weird flow to these MVP races where, like you said, certain players are due. It's their opportunity. And you almost can't crown a guy too early in MVP. He's 22 years old. And I feel like that is going to be some of the decision-making from some of these voters. I really, really want to have some forward thinking and also realization that Wemby is doing something that is unheard of.
Yeah.
He's doing it on both ends. He is doing it as a scorer to the point where nobody can guard him. Nobody. And then defensively, he can cover everyone. He can guard everybody.
Listen to how NBA players talk about him and what they do.
It's like talking about it. They're frightened of like a dinosaur that's coming to get them.
He's an alien, man. You give that guy the MVP. What if he's so giant he develops arthritis in 3 years and has to go and get gout treatment?
Come on.
Like, honestly, but what if that happens?
Don't put that.
Yao had foot issues. Bill Walton had foot issues.
Keep that energy.
The very tall and the Giants have issues physically. It just happens. You're not supposed to be 7 foot.
We get it. You're 6'6". We get it. And you got gout.
I'm sorry that I investigate centers because I could relate to them, even though I'm as tall as a point guard really in the NBA. Look, I'm just saying, I don't like waiting. It feels like baseball writers in the Hall of Fame. The NBA MVP voters are it's like, the NBA media thinks that they're so progressive and forward thinking. You're no better than Hall of Fame voters in the MLB. You're no better than them with these charades. Like, honestly. We're sitting here looking at the favorites down the stretch. 450 favorite for SGA. Wemby's a dog.
I actually might. It's 450 favorite. But I actually might put a bet down here, I think, on Wemby because I think that is good value for the way that things are trending. Just to compare their stats: 31.5 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game, 6.6 assists per game. That is SGA. The Thunder are 60-16. 60-16. He has a 14.7 win share. I didn't pull win share for Wemby, but he's averaging 24.2, 11.2 rebounds, 3.1 blocks. But I highlighted that recent stretch, especially over the course of this run where they're 25-2. I think that the more important talking point needs to be if we compare these two rosters and we compare these two teams. I'm not trying to downplay what SGA does. He deserves to be in the discussion and to be the runner-up. he has the better supporting cast. I also, and as you said, ethical basketball. The amount of times that this dude gets away with shit is really annoying. It's really annoying watching a basketball game. I'm watching the Pistons they don't have a damn starting player on the court. They're just running around with Donis Jenkins, who's a good player, but they're pulling from whoever they can. Bunch of guys for the most part that I'm just learning their names for the very first time. And they're going toe to toe, and SGA is just near the hoop. Foul. Go ahead. Go ahead. And they'll announce this is his 14th free throw attempt. His what? How many times has he been at the line? Every time you watch him, it is just a handout. And I understand that is how officiating in the NBA works, that, you're due, you get your due. You've been around long enough that you get a lot better calls, and they want the stars to go to the line so their points look good and yada, 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 all that crap. I would like some respect for Wemby for the fact that he's on a good team, but a young team. And this team is way ahead of schedule, and he deserves to get the award. But the reality is, much like Drake May being in the conversation, they're going to find some sort of way to pull him down, and they're going to give it to SGA.
Would SGA have 60 wins on the Spurs with a supporting cast of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, and Julian Champagny? Would he have 60 wins there?
I don't think so.
Would he have 57?
I think his win share would probably go up, but I don't think that they would have the same.
He wouldn't even be
record.
Close. Wouldn't even be close. They'd be happy to have 45.
All right, let's close out with something that I know that is going to spark a lot of ire in you. Oh, this is going to be really fun because I got to be honest with you. I am a baseball goober. I know just enough to watch baseball. I know enough of the main characters. I like baseball. I am not as in the weeds as you are when it comes to things like the ABS challenge system. So I'm fully prepared to rage bait the hell out of you. For those that don't know, the ABS challenge system was something that was implemented this season that allows for players to question the calls by umpires on if they were strikes or if they were balls. And it's been used a lot already. 175 challenges between Wednesday and Sunday. 94 of those results were overturned calls. A couple notable situations have happened, and we've had a manager get thrown out over this. Aaron Judge won a challenge and then hit a home run, which was pretty cool. CB Buckner has been under a lot of scrutiny because he has had 8 calls challenged and 6 overturned in a stretch, which is quite depressing. My take on this is why are we 1 foot in? Can we just go all the way in? This clearly is useful, and it's like being shown, hey, we've got this really accurate system, but we're only going to tease it a little bit. We're only going to wait till the umpire really messes up.
Yeah.
And then you gotta call upon it. I don't understand. This isn't how calling challenges in football where they review the film and then they make a decision and the officials make a decision. You have I don't even know the word to describe it. You have an entity, an extra entity that is providing its opinion that has no relationship with the batter, the pitcher, the catcher, or the umpire.
Yeah.
I know that you want nothing to do with the ABS challenge system,
correct,
but I think that they need to go all in. This is clearly accurate. Why are we wasting our time with this?
I hate that we are losing humanity with the ABS system. Ask soccer fans how they feel about VAR, and they will get back to you very passionately about what it's done to the game.
I don't talk to soccer fans.
I understand, as you shouldn't. But how they've been operating with the ABS system so far this year, I don't hate it. I don't. I think it's fine right now. If it's just used as a limited challenge and we go and we see through the box, and if the ball dinged the rectangle, which is what all the nerds and dorks and freaks and geeks want, so be it. But the second that it's like, oh, we don't have a guy behind the plate, I'm over it. I'm completely punched out because you still have a umpire factor. You still have an umpire calling balls and strikes. You're still letting pitchers get away with one. You're still letting hitters get away with one. But it's reduced, and you're holding the umpires a little bit more accountable, which I can respect, and I will acknowledge it's not as terrible and world-breaking that I thought it would be. Planes aren't falling out of the sky because of ABS. We're not going to wars because of ABS. Like it's not as cataclysmic as I thought it would be. But one more step forward, I punch out because right now it's good. Would you say it's good? Do you mind? Because I don't like instant replay all the time. Football is just instant replay now. I need less instant replay.
It's very quick, but the thing that I'm pointing out here, it's very funny how it kind of works, because it's not like the instant replay that we're used to with basketball and football, where they go, all right, we got to go look at this. And then somebody hovers over a monitor and they look at it.
Yeah.
It is a yes or no answer that is displayed to us. And that there's no debate. It's just boom, here's the answer. I find it really funny because we could be using that the entire game. Why are we at the whims of an umpire who's practically guessing most of the time?
It's a game for kids, Joe. It's a game for kids.
What does that mean?
It's a game. It's a sport. It doesn't need it. It doesn't. The second that we remove the human officiating, it's just accuracy challenge. That's all it is. It's just accuracy challenge. You got a big 6'8" moron with long hair trying to hit the top corners of the zone. You're not trying to do a pitch mix. That's all. It's all it's going to be, man.
Reject that completely. All it adjusts and changes is the accuracy of the calls. You think that pitchers are going to completely just stop trying?
If they can get strikes where the bottom millimeter of a baseball can hit the very top millimeter of the digital strike zone, which so many umpires and catchers and batters and pitchers would call a ball, but technically, because a fragment of it, a hair of the baseball went into the zone, they would call it a strike. Then it becomes accuracy challenge. And then we see specialty pitchers that are just, all they're doing is trying to hit the top corners. And they try to paint the corners right now, but they leave some in. They push some out. And all it's going to be
wait, you don't think that there wouldn't be some sort of counter reaction by batters for understanding that there's going to be multiple?
Yeah, but you can't hit those pitches. It's like free farming
zones all over the. Where the pitch is going to be going.
The way the evolution of baseball would go would be similar to the evolution of basketball, where because of analytics and because of the numbers and because of a digital framework, we now know the most successful thing you could do is either walk a guy going for the pinpoint, very corner tic tac strike, or you never throw it down the middle anymore. We're like, where's the post game gone? Well, the basketball's been solved. You've seen those theories and people talking about how basketball has just been solved. They can't get better with it. There's not a more efficient way to score points. There's not a more efficient way to go through the game. That's what baseball is going to turn into. Less home runs, less hits, accuracy challenge, which makes it more boring. And that's what I foresee what happens if we adopt a full ABS system.
The sport is already relatively boring. It's improved. It's improved dramatically recently.
Yes, agreed.
It's been a much more efficient. The games move a lot quicker. They're much easier, more digestible to watch. I love the fact that these games are 2.5 hours now, because you can just sit down, you rip through these innings. It's no longer where it almost feels like you're doing homework sometimes when the game is slow and there's not a lot of hits.
Pitch clock's great.
Yeah, I think that it is. I think that this increases the efficiency, and it also removes. Why are we like forcing human error? It's proving that these umpires, most of them aren't good. Most of them are flawed. You know what it's turning into? You had CB Buckner, who sucks.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get replaced.
Yeah, let's make all the players robots too and put them in a jet paint.
That's not what I'm suggesting.
Where else does it go? If we're saying the umpires aren't perfect.
Nobody's asking for that. But my point is that you're now increasing the scrutiny of these umpires, and then these umpires are going to get fired. Who are you supposed to call up to replace them? More shit umpires, other worse umpires.
I think you'd be surprised at how good most umpires are behind the plate. I think you'd be very surprised at their accuracy of calling balls and strikes.
So Joe talked about this, by the way, when I had Joe C on, how basically he was saying that a lot of these younger umpires and more with the times and understanding the technology, they're the ones that are embracing it and are more accurate. CB Buckner is a fossil, and he is turning and showing that he needs to be removed from the game. But I understand that you're saying that most of the umpires are fine, but I don't know where you're supposed to find these replacements, because just generally across sports, officiating is incredibly inconsistent.
Good. Or like, you win some, you lose some. It's part of sports.
Why
learn.
Why are we forcing upon?
Because it's imperfection. It's the human beauty of sport, is that sometimes it doesn't go your way. And I know that doesn't click in your brain.
No,
but it's part of the beauty of sport.
It does click in my brain. The point is that you're missing what I'm getting at here. I am not saying that this is a more perfect solution and that we need to lean into the solution.
It's perfect right now. Don't touch it.
No, I think that it's really stupid that we go through the game and then suddenly like, oh, here's the let's go to the screen. The screen's going to tell us what the right answer was.
Mm-hmm.
why we have the answer. We're being robbed of the answer the entire game, and then boom, suddenly it's like, oh, hey, we could have been getting these correct more often.
It's also nice to blame the umpire. That's something that baseball fans love doing, and players and managers love doing.
But take the ABS completely out of it. I do one or the other. Do one or the other. I'm not saying that we need to go with the full robot to embrace technology in the future. I'm saying that it is very clunky and awkward that we go through most of the game and then suddenly, like, oh shit, we knew where the ball went. Look, we had a clear defined line where the ball was, but you could only determine it a couple times a game.
It's all about the TV product. They know that instant replay keeps people's attention on the screen more. You can start advertising next to the instant replay. You have let's see the call moment instead of sitting there and watching the game thoroughly. Like, I know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to juice up baseball more with instant replay. And fine, you have a decision that you can be told what it is, what it isn't. But many baseball fans, before a strike zone box ever came on the TV, had to make those decisions, and they got to yell at the umpire there at the game. But now it's all being manufactured for TV instead of the in-person product or the sport itself. It's unhealthy for the sport itself, while it may be healthy for TV, and be like, oh man, all these stupid slack-jawed idiots that love baseball, quote unquote, will just be sitting there like, oh, ABS, yeah, they got that right, man. Yeah, I'm satisfied. That was the dopamine hit I needed. It's just dopamine for me, man. It's BS. Baseball's supposed to be slow. It's supposed to be boring. You speed it up with the pitch clock. I was in heaven. I was like, oh, perfect. You gave it a little juice. Perfect. It's great. The balls aren't all dead. The balls aren't all juiced. Like, it's great. We got in a great spot. And now it's just being a made-for-TV product. It's just literally going to become accuracy challenge with someone you don't really care about in a jersey for the team that you may or may not indifferently root for. It's BS, man.
I think that is an extreme conclusion.
It's where it goes. Do you think people like the NBA now, or do you think they liked it more in 2003? You be real about the regular season. You be real about the sport of basketball.
I can't speak on that because I was barely cognizant at 5 years old.
How about 2010? Before Steph Curry. Pre-Steph Curry, do you think people like basketball more? The sport itself.
But I think that there's other...
How's that possible?
There's other issues that have, I think, impacted the sport more than three-point shooting. I think that more of the issues that have impacted basketball are half the time most of the stars are not playing. There's too many games.
That hurts the sport also. But why would they play? If analytically I can take a couple games off, it won't really hurt my bottom line. And it won't hurt the bottom line of our win total. People won't hit anymore. People won't slap anymore. There will be no baseball strategy aside from protect the very fluttering corners of the zone. That's all it's going to be. It'll be walk fest.
That's going to do it from us, folks. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We will be back on Thursday at 6 p.m. We'll talk to you later.